So it seems when I'm right, and I said this was probably going to drop around the 22nd or the 23rd, and it's quite possible that Oblivion Remastered is going to be shadow dropped tomorrow after the actual presentation. Now, this takes place tomorrow on the 22nd of April 2025 at 4 p.m. BST. I'm hoping to be streaming the live event, and straight after the live event, if it does drop, we're going to be going offline, and I'm hopefully going to be downloading it. And if I can actually get the game downloaded, that's going to be great, because then we can actually check it out in the evening when I actually do my normal broadcast. I will probably be having 2 streams tomorrow if we can get that to work. Now, Oblivion, is it actually going to land? Now, a lot of talk has been happening around this, and a lot of leaks have been going on, so it's no surprise that this is actually taking place. Now, I was expecting this to drop at least a day before the actual, partner showcase, which, according to leaks, was supposed to drop on the 23rd of April, along with everything else that's planned for 23rd of April. But it seems Microsoft isn't doing that at present, or at least they haven't announced it as of yet in order for it to be a thing. But there's still time till the end of the day, right? This could literally drop in the evening, at least my evening, which would be early afternoon for those in the US, because we are 6 hours ahead against EST, 5-6 hours ahead. So it's always possible. But this is really cool, and I am really excited for this, because I remember playing Oblivion back on the 360. I believe it was the 360. And the animations and stuff just really put me off. It's not often that it does do that, so I've never actually ventured into Oblivion. This will potentially be my first time jumping in and actually playing Oblivion. Shock horror, I know. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what this looks like, what they've done with it, and just how good it looks and how well it's optimized for PC as well as Xbox. Now, this will probably be landing on PlayStation as well. Maybe even a Switch 2 port could be announced here too. Who knows? It's rumored to be running on the Creation engine, but with the Unreal 5 overlay on it. Now, a lot of people have been asking how this would work, how this would actually, how it can materialize. But, as long as the workings of the engine for Creation are basically the core foundation, all you're getting on top is like CSS code. For those that understand what I'm talking about, it's the styling, and that's what they're going to use the Unreal side of things for styling. Now, if this actually works and the game functions correctly, this could actually open the pathway for a lot of things to have the inner workings on the engines that companies are familiar with, and just have the styling with the Unreal Engine. Obviously, it's not going to utilize everything that Unreal has to offer, because that then needs to retroactively work with the Creation engine or other engines, but it's still cool. But I, for one, am really excited about this. I don't know how many of you out there have played Oblivion. I assume if you're an Xbox fan, a Microsoft fan, you've clearly played the Elder Scrolls series. Now, obviously, Morrowind and the likes of Skyrim are clearly more, popular and more revered than Oblivion. But I think Oblivion is one of the ones that has stuck to many and has been a fan favorite for a long time. Bethesda usually doesn't miss with the Elder Scrolls series, even when it comes to their online outing. It started off pretty buggy and bare bones, but if you look at Elder Scrolls Online today, it is doing really well, at least for what it is. I just wish it was actually, crossplay with other platforms, and it's not, and it's really weird why it's not. Has that actually changed yet? Last I checked, it wasn't, and it's really disappointing that it's not. It really needs to be. But there's more information regarding this, and that is, of course, in the file size. Now, if you remember, the original file size for Oblivion was around, 7 to 10 gig? It wasn't a big game. But this is staggering. According to an EXO leak, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is going to be 120 gigabyte. Now, keep in mind, this is a remaster and not a remake. All they're doing is taking the textures and just upscaling them, and maybe replacing a few of the models to be able to upscale them. This has been something that's been in development since 2023, so I don't expect it to be small, because I think this is more of a remake than a remaster, and we will see that tomorrow. But 120 gig from 7 gig is staggering. You can't even equate this just to the 4 gigabyte, you know, the 4K visuals, and I don't know. That seems staggering to me. If we look at some of the comments over here, dude, game devs have got to learn to compress files or something. Devs can't continue on thinking gamers have unlimited storage. They're so good. They're the only game on their hard drives. It's got to be Unreal Engine 5, right? And a lot of people are blaming on Unreal Engine at this moment, but I don't know, man. This looks really, really cool. I'm really excited for this. It's going to be interesting to see if it's a one-to-one rendition or if they've made any changes, how mods are going to work. I mean, Creation Engine is supposed to be at the core, so they should, but will the current mods that are available work with the remastered one, or are we going to have to modify the older mods to work with the game as it is right now? Will the game even support mods out the gate? Secondly, will the creation shop be brought in here like it has been over the past few games, like it has with Starfield, for example? And I suspect more and more games, you know, Fallout 4 also had a creation shop, so I expect more of the later games that have had that. Maybe this one will have it too, and we'll kind of be pushing mods through that direction, which means that the console versions will also be getting mods. Now, what this means for PlayStation, I don't know, because they're usually quite touchy when it comes to mods, especially with the allocation of how much mod space you can have. But Xbox, on the other hand, should be pretty sweet. They usually get quite a lot of mod space to be able to utilize this stuff. I don't know. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. This will be my first time playing Oblivion. Well, technically the second time. The first time I didn't get very far. I put maybe an hour in and it just wasn't for me. I'm going to give it a bit more of a chance this time. And, you know, for people saying, who is this for? After 20 years, which, you know, the Oblivion release date was 2006. So we're almost at 20 years. This is for people like me who never did play it. And for people who are a fan of the Elder Scrolls games that never got to play Oblivion. This is a modernized version for them, and it is for them. Of course, the older folks who loved Oblivion to death will also be able to jump in and enjoy it all the same. And I'm going to see in my comment section people turning around and saying, oh man, what's with all this remaster stuff? It's bad for PlayStation, but okay for thing. I mean, and I've seen it already, right? I've seen it already. But they're trying to compare something that was re-released on PlayStation 5 in 2024 and then again in 2025 to something that was getting re-released 20 years later. Make that make sense. But you know what? Then you got this guy. Killzone isn't dead. I mean, I just want that to sink in for a little bit. Because it is dead, right? It is really dead. And just because Sony isn't milking franchises for over 30 years doesn't mean they're bad. Horizon, The Last of Us, and there's more. Are you crazy, Tripster? And I think this video by Gaz really sums it up.
One day I'll pass this on to you.
Just like your mental illness?
Yep, just like my mental illness.
It's a perfect summary. But you know, there is one thing I saw today, well, not today, but it was a few days ago. And, you know, I'm going to give credit where credit is due, right? I've been asking for this guy to make one post that's actually a good take. Just one. And I've waited for a couple years now, and it finally happened. I don't think Nintendo fans are doing themselves a favor when they compare pricing for standard versions of Switch 2 consoles, games, or controllers to expensive mid-gen console upgrades, collector's editions, or high-end Edge controllers. Now this is a good take. I can't believe it, but it actually happened. And what would you say if I said that on the same day this guy had two good takes? Actually, this was a day before. When you criticize the price of $70 Sony games, but vehemently defend $80 Nintendo games, then you're a hypocrite. Again, the messaging is PlayStation versus Nintendo, and I don't really care. They can go to console war and do what they like. I mean, the console war, Xbox is now excluded from that, which is great. We can just do our own thing and enjoy video games while those two continue to war it out. But 2 good takes in the space of 48 hours? Man, Oliver Darko, I'm so proud of you. I asked for 1 good take and I'd be happy. But you gave me 2. So do you know what? GG, my guy. I will give you credit where credit is due. GG. And that's all we got. Hopefully I'll be able to stream this tomorrow. I need to go pick up my daughter at 3:15 from school, so hopefully I won't be back late. But we're planning on going live probably around 3:45 to between 3:45 and 3:55. It'll be very tight if I can make it. Hopefully I will, and I'll see you there live on the show. We'll check it out, see what it's all about, and if it's a Shadowdrop, I'll get to downloading it straight away, and hopefully we can check it out Tuesday evening. Otherwise, we'll be playing something else and checking out Oblivion probably the following week. But folks, that's all I have for the video for today. Oblivion 4 is exciting. I love Oliver Dark finally gets a good take. What else is there to say? The only negative that I have is 120 gigabytes. Man, these developers do need to start finding better ways to compress their games. Leaving them flat raw is just not the way. But anyway, folks, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Remain legend.